The Great Caterpillar Caper, written and illustrated by Janet Toond. Sidney, Simon, and Olivia were playing hide and seek in the forest. It was Simon's turn to cover his eyes and count. Sidney crouched behind a patch of wild blackberries. He could eat berries while Simon looked for him. Olivia hid in the center of a half-rotted tree. Sidney was not quiet while he was gobbling down blackberries, so Simon found him easily. He just had to find Olivia now. Sidney helped Simon in the search. He held Simon high above his head for a better view. Olivia was getting bored waiting. Suddenly she felt something clammy and squishy tap her on the shoulder. She let out a scream. Sidney and Simon heard the scream and ran to the old tree. They found Olivia. She was holding a huge green caterpillar. She explained that it had startled her. All that the caterpillar wanted was help pulling down some leaves to eat, said Olivia. Olivia named the caterpillar Steve. She had fun gathering leaves for him to eat. He ate a lot. Soon, Steve was much bigger. Olivia built him a special place so he would be safe. She added branches for him to climb on with a ready supply of leaves. The next morning, Olivia was shocked to find that Steve was gone. She asked Sidney and Simon for help. They were amateur detectives of sort. They began looking for clues. There were plenty of fresh leaves left, and his footprints simply quit halfway up a branch. "Maybe he was stolen," said Simon. "We need to ask the animals that are out at night if they have seen anything," said Sidney. Night creatures are the most shy, so the detectives decided disguises would be needed. "The opossums are out at night," suggested Simon. The two made an opossum suit. They would have to be careful. If the opossums got scared, they might pretend to sleep and wouldn't answer any questions. After dark, the detectives donned their disguise and approached the opossum. They held out a picture of Steve. Simon asked, "Have either of you seen this caterpillar?" "No," said the first opossum, as the second one pretended to be sleeping. "Let's wear our official detective outfits instead and go ask the skunks," suggested Sidney. "Okay, but we better have clothespins for our noses just in case," said Simon. They cautiously walked up to the skunks. Sidney asked in a nasally voice, "Have you seen a green caterpillar?" Mrs. Skunk shook her head. She suggested they talk to Caleb the porcupine. The detectives knew that talking to Caleb would be a sticky situation. His long quills would make it hard to get close. They wrapped themselves in bubble wrap. If they heard a pop, they would know to back away. When they found the porcupine, Sidney waved the picture of Steve in Caleb's direction. "Have you seen this caterpillar?" shouted Sidney. Caleb moved closer to look. Suddenly his quills caused a rapid pop, pop, pop of the bubble wrap. They ran away, not waiting for a response. Eager to find another lead, Sidney wondered if Margie the owl might help. The two detectives found her and began their questioning. "Have you seen Steve?" Margie stared at the picture and replied, "Who is Steve?" "Steve is Olivia's caterpillar," said Sidney. "Who is Olivia?" replied Margie. "She is Sidney's sister," explained Simon. She studied the picture even closer. Sidney began to think talking with the owl might be a dead end. Suddenly Margie shouted, "Octius Luna!" The detectives were confused. "Steve is or was in the larval stage of a Luna moth. Perhaps he has gone to make his cocoon. Did you see one?" Sidney and Simon looked at one another, puzzled. Margie continued, "Look for an oval-shaped mass of woven silk attached to a branch." They thanked her, and they hurried back to Olivia. Sidney, Simon, and Olivia found the cocoon, but there was a large hole in it, and nothing appeared to be inside. "What could have happened to Steve?" asked Olivia. As the three pals wondered Steve's fate, a huge Luna moth swooped over their heads. Olivia excitedly shouted, "Look, it's Steve!" Olivia was thrilled to have Steve back as her pet. Sidney and Simon were happy to have solved the great caterpillar caper. Steve the caterpillar is missing. Where could he have gone? Was he stolen? Amateur sleuths Sidney the Bear and Simon the Duck are on the case. The pair are looking for clues and asking questions. This adventure has a surprise ending, a must-read for junior detectives. The Great Caterpillar Caper is the second story in the Sidney the Bear series by Wisconsin author-illustrator Janet Toond. Once again, she introduces adorable new animal characters in her colorful forest surroundings. Sidney's little sister bear, Olivia, also makes her first appearance. Watch for more tales from the forest to come. For additional products that go along with her books, visit the author's online store.